thank you so much for joining me for today's look into the Wisconsin Badgers. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. It just lets you know when I put up my good stuff, which is every single video I put up. If you're not here and you miss this video, I'm going to talk bad about you. Because you're not here to see it, therefore you can't be mad at me for it. Let's jump into Wisconsin. Wisconsin's a team that's had a bunch of great players that played for them. I mean, names like Ron Dane. That's a name, ain't it? Melvin Gordon, J.J. Watt. I mean, I could just keep going. They're known for a huge offensive line, incredible running backs. A power football team. You know, you go up against them, you're going to get in the trenches with them. Last year, they finished the season off 10-4, with 2 of those losses coming at the very end of the season with the Big Ten championship. They lost 34-21, something like that, in the Big Ten championship to Ohio State. Earlier in the season, you lost to them by only 6 points. That was a game where a lot of people got to see Ohio State have to play a good football team. And it really started showing more, even though they're really talented, that they could be stopped. It wasn't the score 50 points in the first half against everybody, no matter who it is. You showed that you could stop them. Very, very big year for y'all still, even though it was 10-4. You did make it to the Rose Bowl. You lost to Oregon there. It was a really, really close game. You went back and forth. 2 totally different styles of football. You lose by 1 point. What more can you ask for in that game? So let's talk about who you are losing. And by the way, I just want to give a shout out to whoever does y'all's media, because it's very easy to find information on your team and it's all kind of together. When you don't have Phil Steele's book sitting in front of you, giving you every little thing right down to the circumference of somebody's left nostril, you have to go hunting for it. And I'm going to tell you, you were one of the easiest teams to find information about. The rest of y'all need to get your act together. So let's talk about who is back, who you've lost, and we're just going to skim through this. So, returners, you have Jack Cohn. He's coming back. Remember, you had Alex Hornibrook a couple of years ago. We couldn't believe it. Hornibrook left. Why would he just up and leave? You had this Jack Young in here, and he can play. He's going to play. Graham Mertz. If things don't go so well with Cohn, Graham Mertz is definitely going to be in the running for that. The part that everybody wants to talk about is your running backs. Jonathan Taylor is gone. 2-time Doak Walker, something like that. He's the running back of the year winner, unanimous All-American. He is gone. Now you got this youngin named Garrett Groshek. He's a senior. You got Nakia Watson, Isaac Garando. I hope I'm not butchering this. If I am, forgive me. You're going to have a bunch of people play running back this year. We'll go ahead and tell you that, because Jonathan Taylor was a smart player that you had there. I mean, he was very intelligent, could have went to Harvard. But y'all, you got him. He came in. He played a really good football player. And he worked with his offensive line to try to make something happen. You don't always see that. A lot of times you see running backs going, y'all do your job and I'll do mine. Not really much of a team thing there, but in his sense, he went to them, and I saw this earlier on this season, he went to them and said, hey, what can I do to make your job easier? A lot of running backs don't do that. That's who you're missing this year. That's a big deal. But knowing y'all have some genius ready to come in and play. Let's talk about your fullback. You got Mason Stoke will be running at the fullback spot for you. Wide receivers. Let's talk about who you lost. We'll start with who you lost for, who you got coming back. You got A.J. Taylor. He's gone to graduation. Quintez Cephas. Now, it's a big name. If you're not a Wisconsin fan, you know about Cephas. Cephas is, he's gone on to the NFL. That was a big-time player. That guy right there, he could definitely be a game changer. And we saw him do some great things, but he's gone. Who you got coming back? You got Jack Dunn. You got Adam Krumholtz. You got Kendrick Pryor. You got Danny Davis, okay? Pryor and Davis are your most experienced, okay? They have some playmaking ability, but somebody's going to have to step up, especially when you got Cephas gone. Tight ends, you've always been known to have tight ends. Jake Ferguson, isn't that Barry Alvarez's grandson or something like that? Yeah, he's back. He's going to start that sucker out. Cormac Sampson and Clay Cundiff. Man, y'all got some doozies of names up there. Let's get to the offensive line. This is a big deal. A big deal. Your losses. If I butcher his name, you forgive me. Tyler Biadasz, NFL. This guy right here is, from what I can remember, that guy right there was, I want to say he was first team All-American, something like that. You're losing him to the NFL, it's a big deal. David Moorman's gone. He's gone. Graduation, got Jason Erdman, he graduated. So on. I'm going to speed this sucker up. Who you got coming back? You got Cole Van Lannon. You got Tyler Beach. You got Caden Lyles. You got Logan Bruss. Josh Stelzner. Logan Brown. You got a lot of talent coming back. Okay? You do have a lot of talent, even though you lost who you lost. Let's look on the defensive side of the ball. And old Bobby here is going to speed this up, might leave out a couple of possessions. But the biggie that you need to know is that Zach Bond is gone. Chris Orr, gone. They're gone. That's a big time gone. All right? Returning on the defensive line, most likely your projected starters, Isaiah Loudermilk and Garrett Rand. You got Benton, I want to say Keanu Reeves Benton, but Keanu Benton, he's going to be a nose tackle. Look at linebackers, Chris Orr's gone. You have leadership on the field for a reason. And when that leadership is gone, people don't realize that talent only goes so far. You have to have somebody to make sure everybody's lined up right, to call out they can call out, hold on, they're running to the left, running to the right. This is play action. Guys like him could do that. So that's who you're missing. So you could put a 5-star top athlete who's a sophomore in his place and him still not have the abilities that Chris Orr had. So that's a big deal. That's a big deal. You do have Jack Sanborn coming back, Leo Chenel. As I said, Zach Bond is gone. Noah Burks and Isaiah Greenmay. I like those hyphenated names. I want me one day. Cornerbacks. You've had your moments with your cornerbacks, but you got Caesar Williams and Fayon Hicks on the outside. But you didn't lose anybody or any key losses in the backfield. So let's look at your schedule. Let's talk about how you fare. Let's go ahead and address your running game, unless you have another one of those geniuses back there, is going to suffer because nobody's Jonathan Taylor. There's very few players in the NCAA who can even think like him. Okay? So Jonathan Taylor, very talented running back. He's got the ability, he's got the wit, gone. All right? So somebody, y'all have done well with handling the pressure over the years of getting somebody in there to do your job. I'm just telling you that better be the case this year, because your passing game was not so amazing that it could just carry itself. And then you lose Cephas. I know I'm stating the obvious, but it's true. Who is going to come up at the wide receiver slot and play like Cephas? I don't know. Do you? We got this kid, everybody's whispering about somebody in the offseason. Most of the time, they don't turn out being as good as everybody thinks they're going to. Every now and again they do, but I just don't see it. So if you're somebody who doesn't know that much about Wisconsin football and you're looking at it on paper, there's some really big questions here. So let's run down your schedule really quick. The first 3 games are all at home. You got Indiana Hoosiers, okay? I believe you can beat them. You got Southern Illinois Salukis. That sounds like some type of Greek dish. I believe you can beat them. Appalachian State, definitely can beat them. You're playing at Michigan. That's going to be a tough game. You're going to play at Lambeau Field. That's going to be really cool against Notre Dame. That will be Saturday, October 3rd. Then the next week you go home. after being on the road for 2 weeks. Well, one was neutral site, but you know. Then you got Minnesota. Probably a team that has a big asterisk beside it this year. They've been recruiting really, really well. PJ Fleck had them boys playing last year. How are you going to play them? I mean, how are you going to play? I'm going to have to look back here. Y'all forgive me. I'm going to have to look back here. But I mean, last year you lost to them. Last year you lost to them pretty bad. You played Ohio State way better than you played Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota beat you black and blue. Ohio State didn't. Minnesota did. Big one. Big, big game. Then you're off the next week. Then you're at Maryland. Then you go back to Camp Randall. You're playing Illinois. You're playing at Northwestern. That's going to be at Wrigley Field, too. It's really, really cool. Purdue Boilermakers the next week. Then you're back at Camp Randall playing Nebraska, and then you got Iowa Hawkeyes. And it's going to be on the road. Just to summarize this, you've lost a lot of key players. Now, I know you're Wisconsin, you got this and you got that, and I'm on the outside looking in. But I'm telling you, when you look at everybody on paper, you've lost a ton of your key leadership. You've lost a ton of your explosive play. And fortunately, there's no Ohio State you got to play in the regular season. Now, you know, you win this sucker out, you go back to the Big Ten, you know who's waiting on you. It ain't Michigan. If they do, it'll be a miracle, like Red Sea parting miracle. But it's going to be Ohio State. You know that. I think it's a safe bet. I could probably bet my house on it. Keep my house and probably gain a little something. But do you have the running backs? Do you have somebody who is a diamond in the rough? Do you have somebody who's just been waiting their turn? That's the question, because if you don't have a wide receiver who can come out there and challenge, even if it's just everybody just steps up their game some, you can take that across the board. You'll have a winning season, but you're not going to have a great season. And that's a big concern I look at when I'm just looking over this team going, Wisconsin, are you any good this year? Are you any good this year? There's been times you surprised me, and then there's been times you've surprised me. I think when you let the Mormons come up there and beat you, BYU, that was surprising. Shocked the literal crap out of me. But anyway, listen, that's just my peek into Wisconsin football. No, I had to read off a bunch of stuff. That's fine, but I just wanted to try to get it right. If you're new here to the channel, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. If you always here, I'm glad you're back. Everything. Got a burpity burp. I hope everybody's doing well. Y'all be good. You take care of yourself. I'm Bobby Dirkens. You keep showing up, I'll keep showing out. Bobby Dirkens.